Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. I am Florence Joshua. The military high command has denied reports that troops went on a reprisal attack after the killing of 16 soldiers in the Okwama community in Delta State, after an army commander, 2 majors, 1 captain, and 12 soldiers were killed in Okwama. The deceased officers and soldiers were from 181 Amphibious Battalion in Bomade local government area of Delta State. Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa had directed the immediate investigation and arrest of those involved in the heinous crime. Days after the order, residents of the Okwama community fled to neighboring Ugeli for fear of reprisal from soldiers. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Edward Buba, on Monday said the armed forces, being a disciplined force, complies with rules of engagement, laws of armed conflict, and respect for human rights. The senior military officer urged community leaders, elders, and the people of Delta State to assist investigation to identify the perpetrators of the dastardly act so that they can be held accountable for their actions. The chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has admonished political parties to always avoid crisis during primaries to prevent a pre-election crisis. The chairman also asked parties to stick to their proposed dates and modes of primaries for certainty and optimal deployment of resources. The INEC boss bared his mind at the first regular quarterly consultative meeting with political parties for the year 2024.
So far, 16 political parties out of 19 have indicated interest in participating in the election. I urge political parties to adhere strictly to your proposed dates and modes of primaries. Frequent changes, as we witnessed recently during the Edo primaries, are not only disruptive but costly. The Commission cannot mobilize, demobilize, and remobilize our officials for the monitoring of party primaries for the convenience of political parties. Parties should stick to their proposed dates and modes of primaries for certainty and optimal deployment of resources. Similarly, political parties should avoid acrimonious primaries. Increasingly, the conduct of parallel primaries and the emergence of multiple candidates is a frequent occurrence. So too is the tendency to grant waivers to candidates who were a few days earlier card-carrying members of other political parties and nominating such persons to the Commission as their candidates for election. Some of these infractions lead to unnecessary litigations among party members in which the Commission is always joined as a party. The legal fees and cost of producing certified true copies of documents can be used more productively in other electoral activities by both political parties and the Commission.
In his response, the newly elected chairman of the umbrella body for political parties, IPAC, Yusuf Entali, used the platform to push for improvements in Nigeria's electoral process while highlighting persistent issues plaguing elections in Nigeria.
IPAC commends the leadership of INEC for the performance so far, and so much still needs to be done to improve the nation's electoral process that will drastically reduce post-election petitions and litigation. Just as Council will engage leaders of political parties on strict adherence to internal party democracy, in the nomination of candidates for various elective offices, which will in turn reduce pre-election litigation. It is unfortunate that funds that should have been deployed for deepened party politics and structures in the country are spent on avoidable litigations that distracted, disorganized, disrupted, and destabilized activities of most political parties and eventually change of leadership. Most of this factionalization and imposition of candidates are sponsored by notorious godfathers and reactionary forces from other political parties to ensure they conquer the electoral process. As we prepare for the forthcoming governorship elections in Edo and Ondo State and subsequent polls, IPAC will partner with INEC and stakeholders in the electoral process to further consolidate our democracy and restore Nigeria's dignity and prosperity as the great arsenal of democracy in Africa. I thank you.
This meeting between INEC and political parties is coming at a crucial time in Nigeria's democracy with upcoming elections and ongoing economic difficulties. The populace expectation is high, which in turn mounts pressure on stakeholders to ensure a more transparent and efficient electoral process. Recently, a heartbroken Nigerian took to the X platform to call out her friend who betrayed her by getting engaged to her boyfriend after she introduced them. The lady, identified on X as @OnyiBaby, took to the microblogging platform to call out her friend known as Jennifer. According to her, she had introduced Jennifer to her man in September 2023, only for her relationship to begin having problems ever since. The news has since generated mixed reactions from across quarters, with several social media users accusing the friend of using Kayamata, a traditional aphrodisiac, to snatch her friend's man. As the Kayamata industry continues to generate controversy among users in the sexual wellness industry, Clearview News Desk went on a tour to vendors in the nation's capital of the self-acclaimed Asian practice in northern Nigeria that continues to take credit for sustained family structures in northern Nigeria.
No doubt, Kayamata as a practice over the years continues to remain part of the northern Muslim tradition passed on from one generation to the other. Kayamata is often praised for its potency to ensure social stability by helping married couples to enjoy their marriage and keep all forms of cheating in check. Clearview Television went on a visit to the shop of Zahardin Ibrahim, a Kayamata seller, to seek more information and understanding on issues and controversies that usually arise from this sexual wellness market. As Zahardin Ibrahim explains, Kayamata products are usually made up of different natural mixtures gotten from the environment, against the beliefs of many that the products have some fetish or spiritual powers. According to Ibrahim, though the mixtures are said to serve different purposes, they are actually meant to nourish a woman's body to make her more sexually appealing to her husband. Kayamata is not juju. They are supplements gotten from nature. If you eat watermelon, dates, or banana, is that juju? These are natural things that enhance your body inside out. It just adds to the beauty inside out so much that if your man comes close to you, he enjoys you. For patronizers of Kayamata, the products generally serve long and short-term purposes. These mixtures are usually taken in dosages as may be prescribed by the local producers over a period of time. It is generally believed that the users are mostly women, as the more attractive a woman looks, the more enticing she becomes to her spouse. Zahardin Ibrahim, however, decried the use of the products by young unmarried people, noting that such misuse of Kayamata fuels promiscuity among youths. Yes, people patronize us a lot, but I don't like selling them oftentimes because the women coming to buy them do not have good intentions. Even today, I was asked of the Kayamata, but I refused to sell because the woman does not deserve it. Among the Kayamata products on the display at Ibrahim's shop are the canamberry cloves, usually fried dry and then blended to a smooth powder. The powder is then mixed with a perfume known as miski, believed to be so potent that it could keep a man and a woman hooked for life. Apart from its dominance in the Muslim northern region of Nigeria, the Kayamata market stretches beyond physical interactions as they have heavy presence on social media with profiles of the sellers who are now tagged as celebrities, thereby attracting a followership of millions of women all over the world with the hope of catching their dream man. The pages and comment sections of these self-acclaimed Kayamata specialists are usually flooded with testimonials and hearts filled with gratitude of how great the products worked for them. Also are numerous inquiries about the latest products in the market, sometimes with some women almost pleading for immediate response to enable them place orders for their choice products. As the sex-enhancing industry appears to be witnessing a boom with many women, especially young couples and spinsters seeking to keep their loved ones at all costs, one thing remains certain, and that is, despite the harsh economic realities, more Kayamata specialists and traders will keep smiling to the banks. And why not, one may ask, even as an unpopular opinion says, love sells. Gloria Atta, reporting for Clearview Television.
And that's the news. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Text, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for watching. I'm Florence Joshua. Bye for now.